on here with the iPhone having basically 7 lenses according to Apple. Even though, yeah, you can only see 3 camera housings here. You do have the ultra wide, and then when you go in, you have your 1X, which gives you 24 millimeter, and then you have your 1.2 giving you 28 millimeter, and then you have your 1.5 giving you 35 millimeter, and then you also have the 5X zoom as well. So you have multiple lenses, or at least facsimile of lenses on the iPhone, while the Galaxy of course has multiple lenses as well and multiple zoom ranges. So you do have, of course, the ultra wide, a 1X, 2X, 3, 2X is digital, as well as also you have that 10X zoom, and then you can go all the way to 100. So what does that mean for images? Well, like I said, check out our camera comparison and you can see where the differences lie and where those details stay within both devices. But that being said though, when it comes to zoom, it's a very interesting predicament. I look at it this way. I say, hey, when it comes to getting those shots between the 1X all the way to the 5, so basically the 5X is a 120 millimeter lens, the iPhone does a really good job there. And I think you can see a lot of that clear details there. But when you're looking at extending in terms of going past that, the Galaxy does a much better job at having that extended zoom out there. Now, both zoom lenses are very different in terms of the way they work. The Galaxy has a periscopic zoom and the iPhone has a tetra prism lens, which is built differently. So that's just putting it out there for you. And I think you're gonna find that camera comparison very detailed and very interesting. So go ahead and check that out. Now, when it comes to battery life, this is something that's quite interesting in terms of both devices. The Galaxy, I've been using it for almost 9 months now within the year, and I have to say the battery life has been impressive, being able to run a full day, I'm meaning from 8 a.m. to roughly around 11 p.m., where it gets down to about 10% then I need to charge, is impressive. I'm a heavy user and it does really well. While the iPhone 15 Pro Max, I haven't spent enough time using it to actually detail the battery life, but just from my use case so far, it feels closer to the 14 Pro Max than say the Galaxy in terms of this battery life usage. So take that as you will. I will say though, I do need some more time, so I will be giving you more details on that later on in my month-long review of the 15 Pro Max. And then we move over to USB Type-C. Yes, this one is very interesting because the iPhone now has the same charging port as the Galaxy. And that is something that you will find useful because now all your cables are the same. To have a separate cable, which is great. Now, in terms of charging speeds, the iPhone charging speeds are still the same. They're not past 40 watt charging, which the Galaxy has 45 watts. So the Galaxy will charge faster, but the iPhone is technically capable because you have a USB 3.2 port. Also has data transfer speeds up to 10 gigabits per second, which is great. So that's something that they both share, but the Galaxy has the slight edge on that part. And then finally, when we come to special features, this is where both devices now have different tricks up their sleeves. And we start off with the iPhone 15 Pro Max with that loaded action button. Now, the action button has come into place, the slide that we had previously on the iPhone devices, and it is very remappable and it's a great tool. So on default, it basically can put your phone into silent, you press and hold, and that's pretty much it. But you can also map it to different things, say for instance your camera, and you can set it with different camera settings, whether it's a selfie camera to activate that, the rear camera, video, whichever you want to do, and you can snap a photo using that button or long press and hold to start recording. That's something that's easy. You also have different other features like putting in focus mode, timer, flashlight. You can also use shortcuts to select specific applications. And in my case, it's been Resident Evil Village because it's easy for me to just pick up the device, press and hold the button and get back into the gameplay session. So that actually works out well. Another feature that the iPhone 15 Pro Max has is standby, which is something that can be activated directly through the settings or just automatically once you put it on a MagSafe stand. And in, of course, landscape mode, it gives you this portrait view where you can quickly access things like your calendar, clock. You can also go into your streaming services like Apple TV Plus, And it's a nice way to use your phone as a stand clock if you choose to. But also at night when you're going to bed, because it knows you have a sleep and focus routine, the screen will completely go dark. So it doesn't just stay in screensaver mode, it actually goes dark all the way through. So don't worry about that. Now with the Galaxy still can do those things. Now, if you have a Galaxy S23 Ultra device, you know that just off the jump, the power button is remapped with a double press that leads you straight to the camera. Now you cannot take photos with the power button, but you can use the volume rockers to take photos if you want to. You can also remap that power button as well for more